You are about to witness history in the making.
Hi everyone, it's episode 27 of the Pop Culture Gamers podcast. Today is the 14th of October, so we're getting closer and closer to that time of year when we're all going to be buying Christmas presents. My name's Hayden and I'm here with Steve as always.
Hello.
Hello Steve. Before we start today, I just want to something's come to light. We've been told about. We haven't actually seen it ourselves, but evidently somebody has been using the Pop Culture Gamers name to wind up our previous co-hosts of Toz and Ricky, and it's just not on. Whoever's doing it, please stop. We don't want anything at all to do with what it is that you're doing, and that's it. End of. So let's just move on with the rest of the show. If you do have any contact with anything purporting to be Pop Culture Gamers, if it's not from either myself, HERJUK, or Steve at Steve07, or it's not one of our emails, which would either be Steve07 at popculturegamers.co.uk or podcast at popculturegamersuk or HRJUK at Pop Culture Gamers UK, any of them, then it's not from us, and if it's not our gamer tags as well. So please report it and let us know that that's happened. Anyway, so let's move on. So Steve, what's been happening with you, mate?
Not a lot. I've been on call this week, obviously, so my phone's beside me still. Could go off again as usual. We'll see. But
well, it's that time of the month for you, isn't it?
yeah, it's the first time in about 6 weeks, it feels like. I'm just so alienated to being on call. But it's just this week for this month that I've got to do one in November, then December and Christmas Day. But, won't talk about that just yet.
Yeah.
So, what have I been up to? So, purchased some tickets for the opening weekend of the new Halloween movie, which will be next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do early showings, ironically. I don't know if that's just because it's a horror film or what. I don't know. You're in the dark anyway. But
kind of loses the effect, though, when you walk outside and it's brilliant sunlight.
Well, I suppose, I don't know, really. I mean, it depends if you've got the mask to run around with and scare people to death, which is on its way. It's actually, I didn't know if it was real or not, but yeah, it's actually left Hong Kong so far. So I don't know how long that's going to take. That sort of speed and distance. But yeah, so really nice that we got them tickets anyway, so we can go and see that. Couple of soundtracks coming this week. I've got my Halloween 2 came up from Mondo with no import tax, which was good. So I'm just waiting on one from Mondo and one from Waxworks. Halloween 1 and Halloween 2018 as well, actually. So they'll probably come later in this month. Mm-hmm. Something I didn't mention last week, actually, regarding Assassin's Creed. It just slipped my mind. Originally, I was going to buy it on CD keys.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's a good price, $34.99. And it, I don't know, it's between Odyssey and Origins. That O seems to get in the way. So I purchased Origins by accident.
Oh dear.
And I thought, oh, nuts! I've already got this anyway.
Did you have it digitally or disc?
Digitally, right. From CD keys. So they emailed me a key. So I went, oh, nuts. So I emailed them back, explained it was a mistake, and they refunded the money.
Oh, well, that's good.
So, yeah, they did that within about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, they are a good company to deal with normally. What I've always found is if I've bought anything from, it's a Blizzard code, no matter whatever code they send me always seems to be wrong.
Oh, really?
Somehow, yeah. Somehow there always seems to be one character and I end up having to contact them. I've had this on about 3 or 4 occasions now and it's only ever with Blizzard codes. And then they'll send me it, like typed out. I'll cut and paste it in, and then it'll fit perfectly. I think it's something to do with I don't know, just their reproduction of that sticker that's on the box,
right,
sort of thing. But yeah, well, it's good that they've, because normally if they've issued a code, most places wouldn't give you your money back.
No, well, I say the code set there on the email. I didn't obviously use the code, so I didn't need to.
Well, they'd be able to check that as well, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely. And they said, well, once I sent the email, they said, they go to the next stage is to discuss whether it's a valid reason to send it back, sort of thing.
Mm.
And then they said it'd be in your account back via PayPal into my Halifax. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, very cool.
So gaming this week, really, I mean, I have played a little bit of Destiny, which I'll just touch base on.
Mm.
But it's all been about Assassin's Creed this week.
Yes, you've been hammering that game.
I played it for 18 hours.
I know.
Stupid. But it is such a... Well, I mean, we can go into that. It's such a huge game. It's unreal.
It's funny, actually, because we've been leapfrogging each other in progress on this game, haven't we?
I know. And then, obviously, we've been chatting to Alan as well, and he's been... we've been sending each other tips on how to get through the game.
Yeah, we have. Well, we'll talk about that when we get on to it then. So
that's about
anything else?
No. We'll move swiftly on because I'm running late today. So
okay. So for me, just in my new job now, second week, really enjoying it, doing all sorts of project management and change management stuff, which is, I like doing organisational culture and stuff like that because I always find it to be really quite challenging. I've also been to the cinema this week. So I'll talk about what I've seen later on, keep you guessing. Completed a game, started another, and been hammering Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well. So we haven't talked at all other than
a text or two.
Yeah, text or two about this game. So it's going to be interesting to see what our views are on it.
Yeah.
So, but that's it from me. Not really. Just not really an exciting week. It's been mostly either cracking on with work or cracking on with Assassin's Creed, to be honest.
Yeah. Every gaming minute I've had, all bar a bit of recent with Destiny, has been this.
Yeah. And if it gets you away from Destiny, it's got to be a good game.
Cassandra, I love her. She's great.
Okay, so let's go on to gaming this week.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
Okay, so loads of news this week.
Yes.
Loads of news.
Big news as well, really, some of it.
Yeah, some of it is. So, should we take these in turn then?
You start.
All right. So, Microsoft is buying Obsidian Entertainment. So, Microsoft's reportedly very close to a deal, which means it will pick up Obsidian Entertainment, who have developed games such as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas. So, you'll be right up for that one.
As soon as Obsidian was mentioned, I knew who they were.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And also Pillars of Eternity as well. So if reports are to be true, Obsidian's going to be the latest in a really long list of developers that the studios have been picking up, obviously going down the route of trying to get more exclusive games, I think, on here.
Microsoft are trying to take over the world, I think.
I think that they are. So, there's the Playground Studio who do Forza, the State of Decay developer, Undead Labs, the We Happy Few maker, Compulsion Games, Ninja Theory of Devil May Cry fame, and also Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice as well, which was absolutely fantastic and originally a PlayStation and PC exclusive. So, yeah, it's a brilliant thing for Xbox owners, maybe not so hot for PlayStation owners. But the good thing is that the PC owners, it doesn't really matter as long as it's on Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to do the next one, Steve?
Yeah, so Blizzard Entertainment. Is BlizzCon on at the moment? I'm not too sure.
I think it's been on. I'm not sure it's still on now.
So Blizzard Entertainment representative has said that they're actively working with partners at Sony and Microsoft to enable cross-play with Diablo 3 on the Switch. Now, no target release date is announced as yet, but they just reassured the fans of it's a question of when and not if. So since Sony have opened their floodgates, more stuff's going to be coming around by the looks of it.
Yeah, and the news about Diablo 3 is really good because, to be honest, if I was ever to get my own Switch, Diablo 3 would be one of the games that I would get on there.
Not at that £50 price, though.
No, I do think it is ridiculously expensive
I mean,
on the Switch.
I mean, I was hoping that they were going to announce a new Diablo game at BlizzCon. Maybe it isn't on yet. I haven't really researched it, to be honest.
No, I've not heard of any new Diablo game announcements, but to be honest, it's time. You know, come on, Blizzard. We want a new Diablo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that released. Get that. It probably is under development. We just don't know it. But yeah, more good news for crossplay.
Yeah, more the merrier, I say.
Indeed. So, next bit of news is about the PSN online ID change. So very soon, there'll be testing for the long-awaited feature that will allow users to change their PlayStation Network online ID from PlayStation 4 systems. The PSN Online ID change feature beta will be part of the PlayStation Preview program and will be available for a select few people who've already registered as testers for the PlayStation 4 system betas. During the preview, you'll be able to change your online ID as many times as you want for free, but after that, the first change is free, and then changes will then cost either €9.99 or £7.99. Or for PlayStation Plus members, that's significantly cheaper at €4.99 or £3.99.
Yes, interesting.
It is. So all those people who have their really embarrassing, usernames that they've had forever will now be able to, put that right.
Yeah.
A feature that has been available on Xbox since the beginning. But
yeah, absolutely.
I've never understood why it's been an issue on the PlayStation.
Yeah. So just quickly backtrack. November the 2nd, I'm looking at here for BlizzCon, start of it. And funny, on the first on Hall D, which is a Mythic main events hall, they've got something at 7:30 saying, Diablo, what's next?
Well, let's hope that it's a new game then.
So who knows? So I think it's going to be. It looks like it's for maybe 3 days. And they got a Diablo Q&A as well. Diablo World and Q&A at the end of the event as well. So, you never know. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, could be good. Could be good.
Okay, so something else I noticed and saw the video for earlier this week, and Microsoft have announced that they've been working on Project X Cloud. Now, this is going to be interesting in many ways. So basically what this is, the future of gaming is a world where we empower to play games that you want and people who you want, where you want and when you want, and at any device of your choosing. Now, Project Cloud's state-of-the-art global game streaming technology will offer you the freedom to play the device that you want without being held locked down to a particular device, empowering you for the gamers to be at the centre of their gaming experience. So you are going to be able to play your Xbox. Let's say you could be in a hotel, couldn't you? You've got the Wi-Fi running, and you've got your tablet there, or you might have a large phone there with a bigger screen. Connect to your Xbox via the cloud.
No, it's not connected to your Xbox.
Sorry, not the Xbox, but to a game.
Yeah.
Which has probably got a save as well, which is linked to the Xbox anyway.
Yeah.
And you can carry on playing that game. And then go back, play it on your Xbox, drag that save back down again. And I don't know how well this is going to work. I know Microsoft are the right people to do something like this.
Well, evidently it's been something that they've had in development for quite some time. And on each of the blades in the servers, there's evidently up to 5 Xboxes sat in there.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be quite interesting that if this is going to be an app, you could have that app on the Switch, for example.
On the PlayStation.
Or, for example, it could be on one of your, TVs.
Yeah.
So, do you need an Xbox?
Well, that is one of the questions I'm sure that a lot of people who like to immediately start to knock Microsoft will start to say, oh, well, you won't need an Xbox. It just goes to prove it's dying and all of that sort of stuff. But no, Microsoft has also said that while that they are delivering this as an experience, they still see the console as being the flagship and the premium gaming experience.
Yeah. How would you like this to come as a service? Would you like it bolted on with Game Pass?
I think that would make sense, because then it means you're not installing stuff on your hard drive.
Yeah. And I think, this could be something pretty big, to be honest.
Yeah.
And with the way that the PlayStation are trying with their streaming service to be a download service now, interesting times.
Yeah, all this is PlayStation now, but it's Xbox now, effectively.
Yeah. So,
let's not kid it. Sony have had this for years. Let's give them the recognition for that.
Yeah. It's not been a great seller, unfortunately, because I don't think that in the background what they've had running has probably been good enough.
I don't know. I've never used a service myself, to be honest, because of the titles that are on there. You end up having most of them by the time they actually start to bring it out. But if they started putting out like new titles, day one release sort of thing.
Exactly. So for example, this Game Pass idea, which I think's it's all one big pot they're stirring and putting together. That when Gears 5 comes out, you can sit there and play it on another device of your choosing. Yeah.
And the great thing is you can either pair an Xbox controller to your device, whether it's your iPhone or whatever, or alternatively, what you can do is you can use the on-screen controls as well.
But as I say,
so there's that as an option.
Most Xbox controllers are Bluetooth now, so that would be the way to go.
Yeah. So it's only like the first gen or the first part of the gen for Xbox controllers that there was any difference.
So yeah, interesting times.
It is, but the trials for that begin in 2019.
It's not far away, is it?
It's not. That's only 2.5 months.
So us in the old beta play early everything else these days might get to trial that.
Yeah.
So on the Inside Xbox. So if you fancy even trialing that, jump on the Inside Xbox and join the program.
Yeah.
Because that could be your first way of actually trying it out.
I'm sure it will be. Okay. So that's it for the news. So do new releases, Steve? Do you want to do the new releases and I'll do the charts?
Yeah. Let me just zoom a bit in quicker. There we go. So we'll start with the 16th of the 10th. We've got NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. We have Big Buck Hunter Arcade on the Switch. We've got For Honor Marching Fire DLC, which is digital at the moment. And that's for the PlayStation 4, Xbox and PC. We have Starlink Battle for Atlas, Xbox, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Also, we've got here Hunter Call of the Wild 2019 edition, PlayStation 4. And then these titles are from the 19th. We've got Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch. Dark Souls Solitaire of Astro Ambio on the Switch. We've got Death's Gambit, PlayStation 4. Lego DC Supervillains on all formats. Luigi's Mansion, 3DS. My Memory of Us, PS4. Soul Calibur 6, PS4, Xbox One and PC. Siberia 3 on the Switch. Warriors... I can never say that now. Warriors
Orochi.
Warriors Orochi 4. That's on all formats. And then last but not least, we've got Zen Studios Ultimate VR Collection on the PSVR, which is Zen Studios. Isn't that pinball?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, we'll see. So, interesting titles.
Anything there that's tickling your fancy?
No. Not at the moment. I'm too busy being a Sparta. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I realise that, but I mean, is there anything that you might consider picking up later on there?
No, I've got a couple of things that are obviously on the boil to pick up. I mean, I'd like to look at Zen Studios, the Ultimate VR Collection, just to see what that's all about.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm into Lego. Just lately, I'm not sort of with it anymore these days.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
It's a format that I've probably lost a lot of love with. Not for any reason, it's not been...
Other than it's been done to death.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Anything?
I I think Starlink Battle for Atlas looks interesting, whether or not, because it seems to have toys with it as well, that's turning me off because I just see it being another Skylander sort of situation when you'll end up all with these little bits of plastic rubbish that you don't know what to do with afterwards. So there's that. Soul Calibur 6 as well, I think. I think that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I always used to like Soul Calibur. And, well, it's on other formats anyway, but Siberia 3 on the Switch. Siberia 3 is supposed to be quite a good game.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So, but otherwise, it's not like a real big, exciting week, I don't think. As a matter of fact, I think that the next, it's relatively quiet for this time of year up until January, and then it just goes to silly season 2 now. I think we've seen all of the big ones that, are the biggest big ones, as it were.
No. Don't be silly.
apart from Grand Theft Equestrian. Sorry, Red Dead Redemption 2.
And Fallout 76.
Like I said, we've seen all of the good ones.
No. Which is starting to do the beta soon, so we look forward to that.
Whoopie-doo. Anyway, moving swiftly on before we fall out.
Yeah, go on.
Charts for this week. So, at number 5, a new entry, Super Mario Party. We have at number 4, down from 2, Marvel's Spider-Man. At number 3, new entry, Forza Horizon 4. At number 2, new entry, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And at number 1, holding them all off, is FIFA 19.
That is that, really?
It is. Anyway, Steve, what have you been playing, mate?
Well, if we're going to chat Assassin's Creed, I think we should let you do your other couple of games, and then we'll blaze through that, shall we?
Oh, do you want to talk about your Destiny bit first?
Oh, yeah, I can do. So what I did was I actually got an exotic. Hey, in Destiny. And I completed the Cade's quest for the Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
The only bit that took some time was actually doing precision shots in the Crucible. I had to get 25 of them, but what happened is when I changed my hand cannon to the Crimson, I seemed to fly through it then for some reason. So I put the Crimson on, upgraded that to a nice high level, went into Crucible and knocked that out. Once that part was done, I had to go over. I had to go and look for some chests all over the different planets for Cade to pick up bits and pieces. Yeah. Did that, and then there was one little quest to do, a short bit of story with Cade in the background chatting away, and then I picked it up and got that. So that's pretty cool.
Cool. How was Cade chatting away when he's dead?
Oh, it's like his memoirs. He's chatting away like that, if you know what I mean.
All right, okay. So it's like an audio recording, sort of.
Yeah, and it's like a will. I think it's the best way of putting it. Because the way he was chatting about people in the tower, saying, oh, this would have been for you, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But I didn't even notice, to be honest, that obviously that was done by the first character. That was done by the other guy, wasn't it, for the voicing?
Yeah, it was done by the guy who did Nathan Drake.
Yeah, and you don't notice it, to be honest.
I don't know whether or not that's a testament to the person who's doing the voice, or like a disservice to Nathan Fillion.
Who knows, but it was still enjoyable, though.
I mean, he does have quite a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
So hopefully a testament.
Yeah, because that was really good. And I'm now what? I'm probably about 450. So getting
450.
Sorry, 550, 600. Yeah.
I was going to say I haven't played it for weeks, and I'm at about 540.
Sorry, I'm about 10 off of 600.
So if you're 10 off at 600, it'd be 590 then.
Oh, no. Is it? Oh, don't worry. I'm not thinking straight tonight. You know what I mean. Anyway, I'm close to it. It might be 550, but we'll see. Whatever.
Fair enough.
So what's these other games you've been playing other than Assassin's Creed?
Right. Well, first one, I'll start off with the one that I've completed. So if you remember when I went to EGX, I played Planet Alpha, loved it, bought it, started playing it. Well, I've completed that one now. 1,000 gamer score as well. Absolutely beautiful game. It's a platform puzzle game in the same style as Inside and Limbo and those sort of games, but it's absolutely beautifully coloured. It looks just gorgeous. It uses that 1950s sci-fi retro style right throughout the whole game. Its basic controls, left, right, jump and interact, but the twist on this game is you can tilt the axis of the planet to help you out. So when you tilt it, or change it from day to night, I should say. That's what I mean by tilt. It's probably more like speed up the rotation of the planet rather than anything else.
Yeah.
But so some puzzles require you to do that sort of stuff. And, there's lots of hidden, missable achievements in there, where you've got to use alternative routes to find certain things and all of that. And it's just such a really clever game because, you will die loads on this. Anybody who's played Limbo will be used to that sort of experience, or Inside, because unless you're using a guide, you really do die an awful lot. But as a game, it just plays so nice and it compels you to keep sort of playing it as well. And I did get a bit distracted by Assassin's Creed, and then I've gone back to it, even though I'm absolutely loving Assassin's Creed. So, yeah, really worthwhile game. I think it's $15.99, but it's normal. It's been in a sale once already on PlayStation. So, and I think it was down to $11.99. Really, really well worth buying. You're going to get several hours worth of gameplay out of it. Like I said, beautiful game. The whole story is quite emotive, but there is no speaking in it and no text as well. Very clever puzzles to get past things. Just a really good game.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Definitely did.
Sort of was it sort of a breather in between playing and, such an in-depth game to play that, as probably a break, if anything. Yeah, it is. It's just a change of pace, because sometimes you just do need that little bit of a change of pace. Cool.
So the other side is I've also started playing Tesla versus Lovecraft.
Okay. What's all that about? I'm not sure about that one.
Right. Well, it's basically an intense top-down arena shooter by 10 Tons, who were the creators of Crimson Land and Neon Chrome.
Right, okay.
And basically you play the inventor, Nikola Tesla, whose experiments have basically invoked the wrath of some Lovecraftian horrors. And Tesla has, an equipped, static-powered mech that he controls that, is like very overpowered, and loads of other inventions in his arsenal, of guns. And you basically use that to kill hordes of Shaggoth, as they're called.
Okay.
So that's the storyline, but basically it's a twin-stick shooter. But the key for this is the upgrades that you get throughout the game. So that the game plays quite cleverly, because every level you start off in a mech, and then the mech can only exist for so long, and then it just blows itself apart. And then bits of it start appearing on the map, and you've got to go and pick up the bits, and I think there's 6 bits to collect, and then you can get the mech back, but that'll only last for a short amount of time.
Right.
Throughout the gameplay, there are these Shaggoth who are coming through portals into the arena, and they come in big numbers. And randomly, maybe not randomly, I haven't timed it, but there are drops that keep happening throughout the game. So when you're playing a level, you'll get a drop and you'll have one of 2 options. It'll either be to add an extra barrel to your gun, or add more health, for example, or, something like that, or run faster, or be able to dodge better. So that, it always gives you the option of which way you want to do your upgrade path. But that upgrade path is only for that level. Okay. Yeah? And then you also get options when you hit the end of a level. Not the end, sorry, your character levels up. during each level. So you've got your character level and your game level.
Yeah.
So your character, the more of the Shoggoth that you can shoot, the more XP you get. The more XP you get, then you get more, more ability to, customize what you want to do by adding a bit, like skill points sort of thing. And then when you've done that, that'll give you other options. And there's all sorts of things. Like, for example, you can have increase the number of random drops that you get. So you can increase that by 40%. And then if you're lucky enough and you get that again, you can increase it by another 40%. So stuff's dropping all the time. You also, like I said, go about picking up the bits of your mech. And then when you get the 6 pieces together, then that recombines the mech. You press the A button or the X button, and then you're away again, and you can shoot whatever it is that you like. And then that'll explode after a certain amount of time, and then leave you back with your gun. So you can have like machine guns, you can have shotguns, or you can have special Tesla weapons as well. Mm-hmm. There are some perks that you can do. As you progress through the game, you earn crystals. When you earn the crystals, you can then use those to buy, certain permanent skills rather than ones that are just specific for the level that you earn during gameplay.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's also it's a co-op mode game as well, so you can play a co-op. I'm not sure whether or not it's online or couch, to be honest, because I've not ventured down that line. But there is absolutely loads of levels, and there's like 3 different levels of difficulty on there as well. And it just looks, it's pretty much standard, decent graphics, face down shooter, and a limited area because it is a battle arena. There's obstacles in the way, stuff like that. You also have the ability to teleport as well for short distances. So when you do get surrounded by the hordes,
overcome too much. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, you can jump through them, but if the horde crowd is too much, you won't be able to jump all the way through. So you might have to do 2 or 3 of those, and you've only got a limited number of jumps that you can do, and then you have to recharge.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and to be honest, it's one of those ones. At the moment, it's on sale. And it is such good fun. It is just, just a battle arena shooter with a horde. That's a horde mode. There is a survival mode as well. I think just keeps going on and on again. I've not tried that, but I've got my way through probably 3/4 of the levels now, and really been enjoying it, to be quite honest, because it's just one of those brainless sort of, twitchy-fingered kind of games that you quite like to play occasionally as well. So a bit of a different change of pace to Planet Alpha, but also different to Assassin's Creed as well.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
So well worth having a look, guys, if you fancy that sort of game.
Interesting.
So shall we talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
Now,
so what have you been doing then, Steve?
We've got to ask a question first of all. If I say this to you, this achievement, right? Aphrodite's Embrace.
Oh, I got that early.
Who did you do it with? That's what I want to know.
The first woman I came across. I saw where it was going, and I thought, I bet there's an achievement for this, just like there would have been on Mass Effect.
Well,
I thought, go for it.
So I was doing actually looking. I just had checked on the app now. I'm level 12, same as you.
Yeah.
I've done a few more hours, but then I've done a bit more pottering around, to be honest, probably. I don't know how that all works, but I've come across this old lady, and she wanted me to go and find some bears.
Yeah, she wanted you to get the bear's balls and another creature.
It was a deer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was it a deer's penis?
Yeah, and bear's balls.
Yeah.
And
because she wants to make an elixir, because she wants her husband to, have a bit of Viagra.
So this is Viagra for the olden days.
Yes.
And I completed the quest, and that little heart popped up in the conversation. So,
well, when you go back, was she with her husband?
Yeah, she was.
What got me?
And so I walked it. I went to this part of the conversation. Next thing is, we got sort of holding hands into this room. It goes dark, and her husband's outside, and Cassandra comes out with a big smile on her face, and it's Granny.
Oh, I'll tell you what. She never actually came out for me.
Oh, so you did it with her as well then?
She was a second one.
Oh, okay. Oh, you sluts.
Oh, I'm gonna sleep my way through this game. I can tell you that now. When I was playing it, because what got me was you turn up and says, "Oh, here's the bear's balls and the deer's penis that you wanted," sort of thing. And then her husband goes, "What the heck did you want that for?" She says, "Oh, because I'm going to make you an Alexa." And he was sort of like, "Oh, for God's sake, I'm over all that. I can't be bothered with all of that sort of stuff."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, but I want," and then you come along and then you say, "Well, I suppose I'll bed you then if you like." And then what's more is he pays you and thanks you afterwards.
Yeah, I know he did. Yeah, he did. Thank you for my services. But there was a girl earlier that I didn't do. I didn't go down the conversation route.
Oh, I did, you see.
And she was saying, "Oh, she quite fancies. I think I'm pretty fit." And I went, "No, we're not going down that conversation route."
No, I went down that conversation route as well.
Yeah, but
that was early on. I think that was when I was about level 6.
Yeah, I mean, whippersnapper taking out these ladies. I don't know.
Yeah, you went for the cougar.
So really, been enjoying the way this game's playing it out.
Yes.
And the story, I don't think you can literally just cane the story. That level you're taking as the progression goes up.
No, you can't, because a lot of the missions are level linked, and you only can affect anywhere up to, I think it's either 2 or 3 levels above you.
I did take a mercenary
and then
out.
they'll kill you.
I took a mercenary out that was level 12 when I was level 11.
Yeah.
So if you don't realise this, guys, you can actually swap those abilities around and reset.
Yeah, thanks, Alan, for letting us know that, because I was having a great deal of difficulty on the Sparta mission where you're trying to get to meet the wolf and you have to basically go battle with the Sparta. Yeah. And the level is split up into 2 sort of like different bits of the battle. First off, you have to kill so many of the enemy, and then it goes into a second round where you have to fight the enemy. And of course, these enemies have, arrows and swords.
I didn't get
spears.
that. I only got 1 round.
But no, it was 2, because the screen goes black. Oh no, the screen goes onto the bloke who's going, "Come here and I'll get you," and all this, that, and the other. And then that's what I mean by it goes into sort of like 2.
Yeah.
So the first lot is just the normal level people attacking you. And what was happening, because I'd invested my skill points differently, I didn't have the shield breaker option. So it meant that, I was having to try and time when, having a parry with them, where, it all goes slow motion and you can do a few quick chops. I was trying to time that, so that I got their lowering of the shield so that I could attack them. And what was happening was, normally there's 2 enemies on you at once. So while I was starting to attack them, the other one was coming along and chopping me in the back. So, so consequently, I think I died on that about 10 times.
Oh, God.
And I thought, I'm sick of this. This is utterly ridiculous. Yeah. And that was when I, was having a rant on Messenger.
Yeah, it sounds like you were going to... It's like you were going to say, "I've had enough of Assassin's Creed. I'm going to dump it,"
Well, to be honest, I was starting to feel like that. And then Alan mentioned about the fact, that you can reinvest the skill points, and I hadn't noticed this. Talk about, being a noob. But... it's not like it explains it. It just says it in the bottom of the corner of the screen.
If you hold the button down, it will then give them all back to you. So, yeah. Yeah,
but normally games don't do that. Once you've done it, you're committed, aren't you? So I'd never even thought of looking for it, looking at what all of the different things are, because most of the time, let's face it, you don't. You just play the game and, it should be intuitive.
Yeah.
But this bit wasn't, and it was right there in front of me. but it wasn't sort of like pride of place, and it wasn't where I was looking.
To be honest,
whatever.
it's the same that I didn't realise you could get rid of the bounty.
Yeah, you pay.
I had, at one point, I had 3 people after me.
Is that all? I think I've had all 5.
No, I've been out of.
You've been a naughty boy, haven't you?
I thought, well, I'm going to play this right, and but yeah, I mean, I've killed about 4 or 5 of them now. I've had a good old time with them.
Yeah,
but it's great that if you want to go and storm a castle at night, then just put it to night time. You know, meditate and go to night, and then you're not seen as much as well. That does help.
It also hinders you as well.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it does.
In what way?
I suppose because obviously you can't see as well either.
No.
So it is, well, I suppose it depends. This is going to depend upon what you've got your gamma set at, or your HDR luminance level.
Yeah, I mean, mine's is set up as when you obviously when you boot this game up for the first time. It asks you.
You stuck it all the way at the right, so it was.
No, I did not. I stuck it where it said to stick it, basically. So it asked you to shade it, so it's this way or that way, blah blah blah. So no, I don't do it because the screen looks awful when it's fully open like that. It's just too bright, and it takes the colour off.
Yes,
blacks to whites. But that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and there was one where I was attacking these mercenaries in the woods, and I had to put it on today because it was as pitch black. I couldn't see a blooming thing. I could see where they were, in terms of the outline, but as soon as they walked from being behind something, the outline disappeared.
Oh, well, once you've highlighted them with your hawk or your eagle, whatever it is.
No, not if you're in a direct line of sight and there's nothing in front of them.
Because I could still see them, but they were hidden behind the rock, so I couldn't shoot them, but I knew they were there. Because I could see the outline.
I knew they were there, when you can see the outline, but if it's night and they're not behind something, they just disappear, and all you can see is a shield above where they are. But
no, not with me they didn't, because I was doing this at night, and I was on the rocks at a good high distance, and I could see them. I could see their outline still behind. I tagged them as well, so they're above the head was their, little icon.
Yeah.
But man, it's just something I did differently. I don't know, but yeah, it seemed okay. And what's really good, I've enjoyed it. I put all my skill points onto the. Which one did I do it? Oh yeah, I've done it to the warrior.
Yeah.
And I've added one to the assassin to find loot within a certain distance. You up the trigger and it just goes different colours in it, like a scanner.
Yeah.
So I've got that, but also I've started to use the arrows, because what I realise I can do now is in the warrior one, there's one there where you can get your sword alight with flames.
Yeah.
And then I switch to arrows, and then I've got arrows, flaming arrows then. And so I've been taking them out like that, and it's not a walk in the park, some of these buildings you've got to take out.
No, you've got to really plan it.
And I sometimes go out of the zone, save it, and come back in again, because it's frustrating that you've got one last thing to do, and you disintegrate because you've been killed.
Yeah.
But thoroughly enjoying it. I'm close to starting the next part of the war. If I'm assuming that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, I'm close to that as well. But I'm trying to hold off doing that because I don't know about you, but I'm doing the side quests because the side quests themselves are really good, but for the most part. Yeah.
No, I have done quite a few of those. It's one area that I cleaned out, but I haven't gone to the dailies that you can do if you go to the statues.
Yeah, I've done a few of those.
So there's like a list there as well.
Yeah, there is.
So I just
some of them are time bound and other ones aren't.
Yeah, that's true. But the map's so big as well; it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. It'd take you well over an hour to be able to run and swim across it.
I mean, there was one place I thought, I'll just go to that place and I'll open up that synchronization. So I got so far, there was a valley between me and it. So I had to climb down the valley, climb back up the other side.
And then climb up, yeah.
But really enjoying it. I think I'm close to, because, without giving it away, I think I'm close to the finishing chapter 2, I think. The way it's looking.
I think we're more or less in exactly the same place.
Oh, we are. We're like 5 gamer score difference. And we both have got a different achievement that we haven't got, if you're with me.
Yeah.
But the one you've got, I think you've upgraded your boat.
No, I got a legendary character, not a legendary, like the yellow exotic or whatever it is that they call them.
Yeah.
I got one of those characters to lead the boat, so I've got him.
I'm using Evie from Syndicate.
Yeah, no, I've unlocked that from the Ubisoft
because she's got a lot of
I'm not using
she's got a lot of attributes. You see, that's why I put her there. But but yeah, no, it's really good. I mean, Ubisoft, I've opened up nearly everything on that. I think I've opened everything on the Ubisoft Club. That's all opened up now. All bar probably 3 weapons.
Yeah.
So they come in handy. And at one point, because obviously you got these points that you can spend with real money, which are the Helix points.
Yeah.
And at one point, I got given 200 Helix points, so I haven't spent them yet.
Yeah, I've been given that as well.
But I want to hold on to them. There's a couple of sweet little things there to get, but they're quite expensive. So if you hold on to those as you progress through the story, you're going to probably get a few more of those to maybe get close to something you want to buy.
Maybe.
So, yeah, and I've got my boat's got a nice head on it now. You know, you've got the old, on the back of the boat where the old statue is.
Yeah.
Like in Jason the Argonaut. So I've got something on there now, which I got picked up as well. And I'll be back on it tonight, for sure.
Yes, definitely. I will be as well. As a matter of fact, it's got to be one of those games where all that you can think about in terms of gaming is that game.
Yeah, but it's planning, though, because there's so many different areas that are split up. At one point, I went over to an area that was a level 40 character and then got the fleck out of there.
Yeah, because you would have died.
I think if it had looked at me, I'd have died.
Yeah.
You know?
No, because what I decided to do was go from, the first up to level 9 area to the level 10 to 13 area, which is like 2 sort of provinces away. I decided, brilliant idea. Rather than take the boat, I'll go on my horse.
How far did you get?
I got there, but I nearly died doing it because a wolf in the level like 36 whacked my horse, just about killed my horse, sent the thing flying, and then it just happened to be right near some like rocks or whatever, and I jumped to somewhere where the wolf couldn't get us. But otherwise, that would have been it, and that was sort of like getting quite close to where I wanted to go. It was like 3/4 of the way there.
Did you do the shark quest?
Yes.
Which is interesting to do that, because obviously a different environment of being in underwater and having to take out 5 sharks. So go to different sunken treasure areas to do that. It's an amazing looking game.
I'll tell you what else as well. This game's got a Fleck of the Tomb Raider in it as well.
Funny you should say that. Now, I came across a Tomb of Pyrea.
I've done 2 tombs now.
And I went through the thought, which was just it was just like down the stairs. There was a left and a right with the brick wall on it. Straight on, you had the main area. There was a chest there with a statue. But I still hadn't found the artifact that I needed. And then I broke some walls down. And then, I did by accident. And then again was another area of that cave.
Yes, there are weaker walls. And one that I've done, you go in, there's a chest there, and you think, okay, that was a bit of an easy area.
Is it one with the snakes in it?
They've all got snakes in. But you find the chest and you think, okay, that was a bit easy. And then you look and you think, well, actually, this hasn't finished now, because it tells you and it gives you XP when you've finished an area.
Yeah.
And then I thought, right, okay, there's more. So I started experimenting, because this was the second one I came to. Knocked a hole in a wall, nipped under the wall. There was a whole labyrinth behind it. Went through, cleared out everything in this labyrinth, and it still hadn't found the artifact. And there was a false wall somewhere in the labyrinth where there was another like mini labyrinth with the artifact in it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like layer upon layer upon layer. So it's really good how they've done that, because it's not like challenge tombs like Tomb Raider, but the challenge is finding where to go in them, as it were.
Yeah, because it will obviously you can click the the button to tell you what you've got left to find.
Yeah.
And more than not, there's one artifact to find in there. But yeah, there's like a few games rolled into one here with this.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's amazing. It really, I can't believe how well they put this together. Knowing that we are not going to get a game next year.
At the rate that it's taking to complete this game, it'll probably take next year to be able to complete it, to be honest. Especially when you start to get the DLC. Did you bought the Season Pass one, didn't you?
Yeah, because there's another area or another storyline, isn't there, that comes with it?
Yeah.
Which I don't know where that sits with it, but I'm sure we'll find out when we get to it.
I'm sure we will.
But I just loved it. There's one point because the AI do try to attack you and they do chase you.
For a long way. Until I lose line of sight with you.
Mm.
And then you can hide in a bush and then they'll just wander around the area where they lost you and you can sneak away.
Yeah, but I was on this Pantheon, which is, the concrete with the pillars and you've got the roof on it. And I sat up there and they couldn't get up. It's the only place he couldn't get to. So I was just remaking bows and arrows and I was just taking them off one by one at the top of that Pantheon. And I think,
you know that one with the ball, not the ball, the bear. Where you have to get his balls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's loads of bears in there. Did you stand and fight him?
What, the bear?
Yeah.
Well, I had to do it at a distance for a while with arrows.
Yeah, what I did was I ran right up to the cave and then there was a little lip at the side of the cave.
Mm.
And I stood on that and I just ploughed a load of arrows into him. Yeah. And the other bears. And every now and again he'd run round the top and then he'd try and attack us from the top, but he couldn't reach us there either. Yeah. So I just ploughed more arrows into him and when I could, doing fire arrows as well. Because if you want to take something down quick, giving you the flames of whatever it is that they call it and you end up with your weapons being on fire really does help take down bad guys quicker.
And then also have the 3 arrows at once as well.
I've not unlocked that one.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Triples a kill. And also you can use it to do 3 different enemies at once.
Yeah. Can you use it to do one enemy as well?
Yeah, I did. I think if you're close enough to one, it'll just take one out anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing. I mean, I have done a bit of Assassin style with some, from above sort of thing. I don't know. It's just great. It really is. And the way the story is going is interesting from the point of view of how it started to where we're at now, at the point we're both at.
Yeah.
Without spoiling it. But yeah, I'm just loving this game. Really am. Really enjoying it.
I have to admit, this is making me want to go back to Origins.
Well, I will do, because I hardly touched it.
Yeah, I got to the second area and that was it.
Yeah, but I don't want to burn myself out. I mean, I didn't get to Alexandra. I think it was the second area.
Yeah, my worry is that we do end up burning ourselves out on it before we actually get back to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with 2-3 Assassin's Creed games being included as part of the Season Pass.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, can't not much more I really want to say at the minute because we could start spoiling this. But yeah, it's just a fantastic game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a few others are out there playing it. But obviously Call of Duty's out now, so a few people have been playing that.
Yes.
But not my cup of tea, unfortunately.
No, not mine either. But I'll probably end up getting it, but I'll wait until it comes down quite considerably before I look to buy that.
Okay.
Yeah, so shall we move on to movies, TV and streaming?
In quest of a better life.
Alright, so we've got more news. A few bits actually, again. So should we take these in turns? I'll start off with Star Trek course at the Smithsonian. So basically what's happened is the Smithsonian has now started a Star Trek course, in inverted commas, that will allow you to examine how Star Trek's live action television shows and motion pictures affected audiences around the world, looking at the differences, the connections between Star Trek, history, culture, technology and society. And it's only $19.99 and you can do it from anywhere because it's all online resources. Which is really quite cool. I think, come payday, I might be going to do the course. And then I can say I've studied at the Smithsonian.
Yeah. I don't know about that myself, but yeah, okay, rock on.
Right, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, so if you remember quite a while ago, Mini-Me star Vern Troyer, who's from the Austin Powers movies, sadly passed away. And apparently died of suicide.
Yes.
So the report says that Austin Powers the star had told the emergency services he wanted to die after a long battle with depression and alcohol. The Mini-Me actor Vernon Troy died of suicide by alcohol intoxication, a coroner in Los Angeles has said. The 49-year-old had potentially fatal level of alcohol in his system that it was repeatedly said that we wanted to die, and admitted that, admitted this in the hospital. But I can't believe someone can get to that state. I mean, we had the same thing, obviously, with, Robin Williams,
Yeah.
And depression and alcoholism. It's awful. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, he was born with dwarfism that stopped him growing past 2 foot 8 inches.
Yeah.
And he died of fatal multiple organ failure due to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Such a shame because, whenever he was interviewed in that, he seemed like a nice bloke.
But that's just for the cameras. Gets away from that.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, well, you never know what's really going on inside people's heads, but, a lot of people, they don't understand mental health. And mental health is a really big issue nowadays. I think, to be honest, everybody's mental in some way or another, whether or not you're a bit OCD or, whatever. But I just think it's such a shame that, people, it's not only him, but there's lots of people who are suffering from this and end up taking their own lives, and they shouldn't be. They should have the support mechanisms there to help them.
Yeah, but they got to admit it as well, haven't they? But they do that at the last minute. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The first step in the healing process is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, a bit of a sad note, but at least now we know, what happened. So, last bit of news is interesting. Possible new Bond. So Richard Madden is reportedly close to being offered the role of James Bond. The 32-year-old actor is said to have impressed the Bond bosses with his performance in the BBC drama series Bodyguard, and is now being eyed to replace Daniel Craig as 007. The Mail on Sunday said that they had a source which had reported it seriously looks like he is going to get the job. Evidently, Barbara Broccoli, the executive producer at Eon Productions that produces all of the Bond films, has said, has a final say on who will become Bond, and is reportedly impressed by Richard Madden's turn in the BBC hit series. So I didn't watch Bodyguard, to be honest.
Nor did I.
But anybody who's out there who is aware, then might be an interesting one.
He's got a probably certain. I'm just looking at some images of him.
Yeah, he's got a look. He's got a look.
I mean, sometimes it's great that it's someone you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's not got a legacy of something behind that you can say judge it by.
Well, to be honest, the last Bond that was like that was really George Lazenby, wasn't he? In terms of the British audience, because we'd only seen him as like a model. So, and that didn't work well. Let's face it, he only did one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about him to know whether or not I think this is a good thing or a bad thing. I do think it's a good thing that they're looking at replacing Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
never been I'm a Daniel Craig fan. Loved him in Layer Cake. Don't like him as Bond. But each to their own, isn't it? You can't please everyone. Anyway,
no, that's true.
Let's move on to cinema releases. So this week, 19th of October, we'll see the releases of Halloween 2018. Ooh, that's the one you're going to see, isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely, yeah.
Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween. There is Fahrenheit 11/9, Hunter Killer, and Dogman. And for the DVD and Blu-ray charts, anything that's tickled your fancy there?
No, It's nice to see the Exiles complete Blu-ray and DVD, but that's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it is.
For the females out there, the original season 1 to 5 on DVD and season 5 on Blu-ray, for example.
Of what? Sorry,
the originals.
All right.
It's a vampire series.
Yeah.
So sort of tagged on the end of the other famous show that was done. Can't remember off the top of my head now.
Yeah.
Really, not a lot there.
Well, there's Night of the Creeps and 12 Monkeys, isn't there?
Yeah.
But other than that, looks like it's a pretty boring sort of week.
Yeah.
For DVD and Blu-rays. Thank God for that, my bank balance says.
Yeah, because my next ones don't come until, I suppose same as you probably, end of October. So.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on now to the cinema charts, and we have at number 5, Night School. At number 4, The House with the Clock in Its Walls. At number 3, A Star is Born. At number 2, Johnny English Strikes Again. And at number 1 is Venom. So, big changes in the charts from the week before. Yeah. And Johnny English, there's a lot of kids, like that. And adults.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's Mr. Bean that the kids like more, I think.
Yeah, well, they say Mr. Bean with a gun, don't they? So I suppose that's how they look at it.
Pretending to be James Bond.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Blu-ray DVD chart. So in at 5, brand new, we got Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Up from 6 to 4, we got Halloween. 3 at 3, we got Avengers: Infinity War. And 2 and 2, Deadpool 2, and 1 and 1 is Star Wars Story Solo. So no real change, but the 2 that have come in are both the ones that we've got. Ironically,
I've got 4 out of the top 5.
Well, what I mean is the 3 are there, but the 2 new ones that are in.
Yeah, we've also got, but we got separately.
We picked up recently, so
yes, indeed. So, Steve, you have the big show that everybody will no doubt have been talking about last week, although we didn't really see anything online very much talking about it, really. But Doctor Who.
Do you know what? Didn't know how to... I thought, I'm not going to look. I'm going to stay away from spoilers. Just keep away from the Twitter and everything else. The ratings were pretty good, apparently. I did have them on my phone some time ago, but I haven't got them now. Oh, yeah, it's averaging 8.2 million viewers tuned in on Sunday night.
Okay.
And according to the broadcast, this is the highest figure for the Doctor Who episode in 10 years.
Well, I think, to be honest, there was a lot riding on it, wasn't there?
Oh, I think so. But the way it started, basically, there's no intro credits at all in this episode.
I hadn't noticed, to be honest.
You didn't notice, yeah.
And I didn't notice. I did watch it straight after we did the show last week, actually. I watched it on iPlayer.
Yeah. And I think she did terrifically well.
Yeah.
I think that she's nailed the mannerisms of maybe 1 or 2 doctors in one to blend to who she is.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a bit scatty after a regeneration anyway, but no, I like it. It's interesting how that they've gone for this sort of look and cinema feel of Doctor Who now.
Yes.
And as the years have progressed, we've gone from flaky sort of
Blue Peter sets.
Blue Peter sets and characters that are in rubber masks and everything else. But it's really progressed a lot over the last few years, even more so now. And even at the end of the episode, they did like a sneak peek of who's going to be in this series. It's really, really bizarre.
Yeah, rather than what the story is, and this is what I found to be really weird about this, is that that's exactly what they did do. Is it was, this is who's going to be in, as if that was selling you it, whereas a Doctor Who fan's going to be more interested in the story, surely.
Yeah, well, I think even more so, because she still hasn't got the TARDIS back yet, even though we're seeing loads of Facebook pictures with women drivers.
Yeah, TARDIS half materialised in the building and that sort of thing.
She's only had it a week or a day or whatever. But honestly, going back to, I think it's interesting how they're playing the people that are going to tag along with the companions.
Yeah.
And I won't spoil what happened in the show, but I think the time travel element will need to be come back at some point in that episode. If you remember what happened in it near the end.
Yeah, she crashed a TARDIS.
No, I'll talk to you offline. I don't want to spoil the story and where this is going to go. But
well, no, that was the end of the last series, wasn't it? The TARDIS was crashing when she regenerated.
Yeah, I'm not about that. I'm on about the end of the episode that we watched last week.
Oh, right, okay.
How that panned out and how it went and how the story progressed. To think, okay, interesting. But I think it really comes across really fresh. I know I wasn't a fan of the last one, but no, it's good. It's just not this could happen in most TV shows where you can take over a female character from a male character will work all the time, and it's not because I really do like the actress playing it anyway. I think she's just pulled it off as doing her job, you know.
Mm.
And maybe the producers, being the Broadchurch producers as well, know her very well.
Yeah,
probably all comes well together for that. And even was it the eldest of the companions? I can never think of his surname. Bradley
Walsh.
That I wasn't too sure of, but I'm getting the vibe similar to David Tennant's companions when he had.
No, I was perfectly all right with Bernard Cribbins.
Yeah, so whether that is...
But Bradley Walsh, I mean, me and Alan talked about this, and my thing, I mean, Bradley Walsh, if you've ever watched the chase that he's on, it's like sci-fi is so far out of his comfort zone and over his head. It's untrue. You know, you can see when anybody says, oh, I like sci-fi or whatever, his eyes glaze over and he just takes a mick out of them. And now he's on Doctor Who. And to be honest, what I actually said to Alan, and he agreed with me, was Bradley Walsh fit in about as much as a tone deaf and deaf mute trying to sing for England in the Eurovision Song Contest, which granted is probably better than most of the ones that we've actually put in recent years, but that's an irrelevance. You know, he did not fit. I didn't rate him in that role, and I thought he was the weakest part of it. I was very sceptical about this new Doctor Who, and she did a good job. I've never seen her act before because I didn't watch Broadchurch. I had no interest in it. So to me, it was something new. I think she did a good part. I think exactly what you said in terms of she has taken on board elements of different Doctors and mashed them together with her own style. Yeah. So it keeps that sort of like level of consistency. She's obviously going to be a much more acrobatic go-getter Doctor.
Scatty as a March hare as well, probably. But
yeah, she sort of like got the scattiness of Matt Smith, but the action of
David
Tennant. Yeah, she's like a mash of those two characters, I think. Yeah, and maybe a little bit of Christopher Eccleston's Doctor in there as well. So I think you know, she's good. However, you know, I don't think it's just her that made it.
I know, but she'll have to hold if any character is a bit weak, if they are going to be that sort of character that will be, then she'll have to pick them up and hold, you know, carry them probably through. But I don't know. I mean, it's only the first episode. The companions sometimes take a while to gel anyway.
Yeah.
And we may well be wrong about certain members of that, but we'll see. It's early days.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't get why Bradley Walsh even applied to be on this, because he just doesn't get it. And that, you know, this is the thing more about him than about his acting ability or anything, but he affects his acting ability, I think. I just don't think, even though his character's supposed to not get it. Yeah. You know, it just comes across more like he doesn't understand what he's doing rather than his character doesn't get it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I just can't see him supporting the fans in the way that, you know, other people involved in Doctor Who franchise would. Do you know what I mean? Because it, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, they're the three staples of sci-fi, aren't they? You know, it's most other things are derivative of them nowadays, as opposed to, you know, they were derivative of other things in the past, but now it was those three sort of shows and films that have come along and made a lot of sci-fi what they are. And I think they are also very fan dedicated, and they have people who go to extremes. And I think that he would just struggle going to a convention.
Yeah, well,
I think he wouldn't understand it. I think he'd run for the hills, but I might be wrong.
You don't know. He might underneath all of that, he might be a Doctor Who fan that we don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
I've not heard an interview, but that's. I don't think it's worth slagging him off yet. I'm not
slagging him off. I'm just saying I don't think he fits.
Yeah. Well, obviously the producers did for some reason, didn't they? So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've only watched one movie, which I don't really want to talk about. It wasn't all that for me. I sort of nodded off in it, so I'm not even going to mention what it was called.
Oh, come on, let us know what it was called.
Murder on the Orient Express, that's all I need to say, all right?
All right, okay, yeah, let's skip that then.
But, yeah, the new version, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd guess that.
So, you've seen a couple of movies. One I own.
One you own.
Yeah, and
I've owned for a while as well.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about that one first then.
So was it the black and white version you watched it in, or did you watch it in
No,
colour?
I watched a colour version because the black and white version came on with it as well.
Yeah.
But it's Logan. So I rewatched this and...
Any particular reason for that?
Yeah, I was doing the ironing and I wanted to watch a film while I was doing it.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is when I watch most of my films, to be quite honest with you. But I was just looking through and I was thinking, I can't make my mind up. And then I thought, I'll just watch Logan. And I don't know why, but I just thought, let's watch it again, see if I can develop my feel for it as a film. So obviously Logan's always been a bit of an anti-hero, hasn't he, really? Wolverine was sort of like a bad boy who ended up being good, sort of thing. When I went to see this at the cinema, I really wasn't keen on it. And I think that's because of coming to terms with some of the things that happen in the movie. And this is, that to me was a bit of a hurdle because there are some things that happen that I didn't want to really see happen,
okay,
as it were. But obviously this is Hugh Jackman's swan song in terms of, his character of Wolverine. It's the last time he's plays him, although technically he was on Deadpool 2 in the credit sequences. And really, he just plays his part so well, but he should do after, 17 years he's been doing it?
Is it that long, blimey?
Yes, it's a really, really long time.
But it's a very gritty film. I love it. It's really...
Oh, it is. It is. It is a very... very different sort of, anti-hero sort of movie because basically all of the other X-Men are dead. There's only 3 mutants left. That's Xavier. It's, I've forgotten what the other one was, played by Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, I know.
The albino one who was on Apocalypse, but wasn't played by Stephen Merchant then, that one. And Wolverine. So they're the only 3 that are left. There is basically Sir Patrick Stewart, his character of Charles Xavier is losing his mind.
Yeah.
He's got some sort of degenerate mental disorder, and Hugh Jackman's struggling to get the drugs for him, by taking on jobs as a limo driver and stuff like that. But the mutants have all been removed from the earth by, like man's intervention. So anyway, that's a general sort of premise of this. But then Wolverine is contacted by this woman who was saying this little girl is her daughter. Then it quickly turns out that she isn't, and she has a lot of similarities to Logan in terms of genetics. So... And that's the story. And that basically the story ends up being a road trip movie with a senile old granddad, the dad, and the daughter. That's effectively what the movie is, but an ultra-violent one as well. Wolverine's claws are well and truly out and well and truly being used in this. There are very brutal scenes, the type of ones that you've wanted to see the Wolverine really do. you know, where he's like stabbing people and those, you know, adamantium claws are going right up through that skull and out, popping out the top of the head, you know, lobbing people's arms off, all of that sort of stuff that is what you would expect to see in a more adult version of the movie. And this is a real sort of oxymoron, but overall it's a violent, gentle, funny and serious final romp with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Is the way I would describe it. It's just goes from one extreme to the other all the time. And really good testament, actually. For watching it a second time and probably getting over some of the mental hurdles of what happens in the movie, I really appreciate it now. I didn't like it the first time, but second viewing's much better. Yeah. For me. So, yeah, that's my my views on that. Did you have a question? No,
I was about to say, so how was Venom then, without saying too much? Because I do want to see this, so you've got to keep it spoiler-free for me.
See, there we go. He's nicking, you know, stealing my thunder again. So I've been to see Venom. Thanks, Steve. Obviously still part of it's the Sony arm of the Marvel franchise. It is not the Fox side. It's not the Disney developed sort of side. So Venom's very much an anti-hero in this, which is a bit of a contradiction to how he is in the graphic novels and comics, you know, because there he is the bad guy, but this is an anti-hero. So, and it all links down to journalist Eddie Brock, who is trying to take down this multimillionaire, sort of like Tony Stark kind of character called Carlton Drake. And he's the founder of this place called the Life Foundation, where there are reports of, you know, medical experiments going on people and people not surviving and stuff like that. So Brock's world falls apart when he gets caught up in events trying to take down this Carlton Drake. And that then links him onto a path which interfaces directly onto Venom coming down to Earth and with other aliens being brought back from, you know, outer space by man to take over the Earth. You know, the astronauts who bring them back don't realise, but they've been deliberately found so they can come to Earth and take over, as it were. So there are some amusing moments in this movie, you know, when Eddie's coming to terms with what's happening to him. And, you know, he can hear Venom talk to him and stuff like that. Personally, I don't feel like this feels like the Venom that would go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man. Because, like I said, you know, there are things that happen in the movie which change Venom's views on things. But at any one point, I couldn't tell you where that was. You know, there wasn't that watershed moment that you would expect that would be the flipping switch. And all, you know, Venom goes from one moment being, you know, we're going to destroy this Earth, to the next moment being, we want to save this Earth. And it doesn't make sense. So, but, you know, I mean, that's not a spoiler. Anybody, you know, knowing anything about any sort of superhero movie and knowing this was an anti-hero movie would know that there was going to be something like that. So, yeah, it was, you know, overall, I think it was a kind of enjoyable switch your brain off movie, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't fantastic. You know, there's been a lot of other movies that I think have been a lot better. I think, to be honest, Eddie Brock, you know, with, the portrayal of him, he seemed quite mental at times, you know, like, you know, domestic violence sort of mental, to be honest. Okay. When his next door neighbour's sort of playing heavy rock music and he's like bending over in anger and screaming, and it's just sort of like, no, you've got a real temper problem, pal. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, there is the obligatory Stan Lee appearance as well, which is always fantastic to see in the movies. Yeah, I know. But, yeah, I mean, it's worth having a watch, but it's not worth going to see this instead of something else, if you see what I mean. Wait until it comes on Netflix, I would say. Yeah. Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah. So, in that case then, that's all there is for movies, TV and streaming this week. Oh, did you watch A Good Place?
Not yet, no.
Oh, right, okay. Well, we won't talk about that then. So, in that case then, we'll move on to our listener questions.
John, what's happening to us?
All right then, so we're going to start off with, as normal, Mark, and he's asking us, which hobby takes most out of your budget other than gaming? Do you have any hobbies that listeners wouldn't know about?
I don't think they know any. I haven't got any hobbies they don't know about. But obviously, I think vinyl's my second one at the minute, and yeah, that's where the other part of my money goes.
Yeah, because you're spending. You've got loads of records recently, and I know how much you spend on them.
I try sometimes get about one a month, but then again, I do go to second-hand record stores.
Yeah,
so I pick a few out. I pick some albums up for about £2 or £3 as well.
Yeah,
so
there's a nice little one in Northallerton near me, actually, that I keep meaning to go in and I always forget. So I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah. But I suppose you do buy a lot of movies as well, don't you? So
yeah, for me, I would say that my other hobby, other than gaming, is movies. And I tend to like to get them when they're released. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say that I think between you and me, movies are there. Well, I'd say soundtracks as well for me with vinyl, but it's all sort of movie-related stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. In terms of hobbies that people don't really know, it's not like a massive hobby, but I do like doing a bit of photo editing and Photoshop, which I also teach as well. So, but because teaching's kind of a hobby. It's a hobby I get paid for. Yeah.
I mean, there's something I was looking on eBay actually to do. I was thinking about doing something to whittle the hours away, something different. And I've done it before, but I do like model building. Yeah. Now, I don't mean from cardboard cutout. Okay.
So, there was me thinking you were going to get a Switch and do Labo.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, mate, of course. But I built Airfix kits back in the day.
Oh, so did I. I built one of the Apollo landing.
But the ones I'm looking at now is I haven't done one for. I want to do I want to do a Starship Enterprise again. Right. I haven't built one for a while, and there's a lot of work involved with some of the ones these days.
Yes, and if you do one of the Enterprise, it'll be quite engaging.
Obviously, of course, it will be. And you get these LED kits as well for them.
Yes.
And if you look on YouTube and see some ones that have been put together, they look amazing. Absolutely, really look like something special. But they ain't cheap.
No, and in fact, there's been someone in our Facebook group, hasn't there, who's been putting together a Millennium Falcon. Yeah. I can't remember, who it is who's doing that, but when you finish, show us the photos, put them onto the Facebook group. We'd love to see them.
Yeah, because
I was looking at buying that kit.
I mean, I've got a couple of Lego behind me, a couple of Star Wars Legos that have been built. Yeah. But I thought I'd go down the model route, and it's normally with a company called, oh, blimey, I can't remember what they were called now.
Airfix? No,
it's not Airfix, and it's not. Oh man, give me a second. I'll be able to tell you. Now, there's Revell is one company. Yeah. And I think the other company was Apollo Lights or something like that. Can't remember the top of my head. Right. Polar Lights. There we go. And they do a few versions of the Enterprise refit version of it. Sort of scale 1 to 350, and there's one other one that's a bit bigger, and it's got. I mean, just building that, but then you have to go through the painting scenario with these if you want to do it right, and you normally spray paint some of this stuff before you build it. Yes, but I would love the idea of doing that, and also getting the light kit as well. I'll dig out some photographs for you later, and you'll see. I'll show you one if I can get this screenshot done in a minute. I'll send it across. But yeah, pretty good. Shall I do number 2? Yep. Okay, so Mark's asking, do you budget for times when you know that you want to buy games? Or are you more likely to wait for the new releases or take advantage of the games in the sales instead?
I suppose that, to be honest, I have a set allocation of pocket money, and that's my budget, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So effectively speaking, I am budgeted, but not deliberately, sort of thing. And I do teaching to sort of like augment the amount of pocket money I get, so I'm not taking away money from going to the rest of the household bills, sort of thing.
Yeah, no. I do budget my bills come out at the beginning of the month.
Yeah,
I know where I stand basically with that.
Yeah, so do I.
But
nevertheless, I still don't. What I earn through teaching is, helps me buy all of the nice, more expensive extras.
Of course. Bit of overtime. So what do you think to that picture of the Enterprise?
It looks really cool.
Doesn't it? It's like special effects for a film with the way it looks that good.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, let's move on.
So what about you? Do you budget?
I will budget, but also it will depend. If I've got some months, it'd be less than others, so it'll depend. At the end of the day, I'll do some overtime as well to help pay things.
Yeah. One of the things that I do as well, which is quite a good way of budgeting, is if I've got a couple of pounds in my pocket at the end of the day, stick them in a box, because that quickly adds up, and then suddenly you've got enough money for a game or a piece of hardware or whatever.
I used to do that back in the day. Have a little money box where I'd throw anything in there, and that would help pay go towards it.
Yeah.
But remember the days of money boxes, and anyone wants, except for birthday, just put it all in this box for me,
Yeah. Yeah, well, one of my little money boxes is a TARDIS. Anyway, let's move on. So Clive Peacock, he's asking, what game are you most looking forward to and why?
I think I'm going to say Red Dead Redemption, because it's been so long. It's a good 5 years since we had the last game. Yeah. I mean,
it's a bit...
I know, right? Forget your anti on this a minute, but I'm going to go even to, I love Fallout, and I've been. It's not that long since we had the last Fallout, to be honest. But it's been such a long time for Red Dead. But to be a cowboy again and do all that stuff,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know it won't be your cup of tea, will it? Really, it's not something you're going to rush out to buy.
No, I'll pick it up at some point, but. No, the game doesn't really appeal that much to me. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but no, I'm not so looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Don't know why.
Any particular game you are looking forward to, though, at the moment, or not?
Couple of games. There is Hitman 2.
Yeah.
On the 13th. Sorry, the 13th of November. And then on the 4th of December, there is Just Cause 4.
Yeah.
And then everything else I think I'm looking forward to. Oh, Battlefield 5 as well. But other than that, everything else I'm looking forward to
is next year.
Yeah, so, there's the Ominusha Warlords, there's Ace Combat 7, Resi 2, Dead or Alive 6, Anthem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say it now, but I mean, we don't know. But even maybe Crackdown, who knows?
Well, Crackdown is February.
Yeah,
supposed to be.
What's it going to end up being like? That's my only question with that game, but we'll see.
Yeah, Biomutant as well.
Yeah,
that's in Q3 2019, though, so that's a long way off.
And Metro as well. There's the Metro game.
Do you know, I started playing Metro 2033 Redux.
Yeah.
And I just switched it off. I thought, I can't stand this game. I knew there was a reason why I didn't play it.
Okay.
Dear.
So, Nicky Wilson says, so after a year of Xbox One X and 2 years of the PlayStation Pro, which console do you think has been supported better with enhancements? And was that a good idea? Was this a good idea by Microsoft and PlayStation? So which machines had the better enhancements? If you could say, it's not necessarily better enhancements, it's enhancements that machine needed.
Yes.
Possibly. I say that because of the PlayStation recently with the name change. That's still an enhancement that's been crying out for frigging donkeys.
Yeah. I think it's really hard to to state this because I just adopted 4K last year, and that was it. I just adopted it, and no more thing, and I've not really looked back. So to say what the difference is, I don't think I could say it. I think both machines are really, really well supported in terms of the 4K, especially on the newer games.
Yeah.
So I don't have any issues with that at all. Whereas, should they have, was it a good idea? Yes, it was a good idea, but to be honest, the consoles are what this generation should have been, and not the Xbox One and PS4 as they were originally released. The X and the Pro, to me, are the next gen. The other ones are like halfway house, my view. What's yours?
Well, I think it's difficult to pinpoint one against the other because you don't want to be sort of fanboyish on this point of view. As much as that we are regularly getting it, Microsoft are regularly giving us enhancements and updates more than probably what PlayStation are.
Yeah.
If you count them in a year, I'm sure it would be a damn sight more than what PlayStation do.
But is that because you're noticing them more because most of your games are Xbox?
No, I notice when the update for PlayStation comes because I turn it on, I have to turn it off again and reboot it. So I know when it happens. Right. But
oh, you mean in terms of the dashboard?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. but
that I don't think that's what he's on about, is it? I think he's on about the enhancement to games.
Yeah, and I think because the Xbox One X is a 4K machine with updates compared to the PlayStation's been. I think they've improved. They've done that more than the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's much difference in some of the titles when they look. They look just as good.
Yeah, they do.
But I think Microsoft do well to bring out a lot of support, especially with the beta and the way of being on the alpha to test stuff as well. They're always looking to bring more to it. They're not trying to stand still. And I know PlayStation aren't as well. I mean, I don't notice as many over PlayStation because there's a few things that they've brought back in recently with extra bits to do with the friends list and stuff like that. But they're both doing well, to be honest. And I think this week, I think the PlayStation fans are going to be a damn sight more happier from their point of view because they're going to get their name change. So when they were 13 and called themselves Billy Bollocks, they can change it.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yep.
So Richard Mortlock, he said, what would your dream VR game be?
Well, right now, Bridge Crew is probably the most greatest one that I've ever played and I'm enjoying. Whether to play anything else, I don't know, but I am looking forward to the Ace Combat idea. Yeah. And being in a cockpit, if I get to fly a plane properly, that is, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about yourself? You got any ideas?
Yeah, I would say, I
know you
would be an expansion of the
Elite Dangerous
VR. Well, Elite Dangerous is already there.
It's not, but it's not on play. Oh, okay, it is, I suppose, in some shape or form, but not on all platforms.
No, but I can play Elite Dangerous on the PC, and this is just VR generally. So I would say something. Excuse me. I would say something along the lines of either an expansion to the Star Wars Battlefront VR section, so that was the full game, which effectively you've got on like the Eve Valkyrie thing, haven't you? But it's not Star Wars. Or the other one, which would be really quite cool, would be having a similar sort of thing, but maybe having Vipers and Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, that would be quite cool. Or you could maybe have like Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Outcast. Remember that back from the days of the PC, but have that as a VR experience where you would use the Move controllers or whichever as lightsabers. That would be quite cool.
Yeah, because I say I've got my Star Trek, so I'm pretty happy. But Star Wars Fuel would be an ideal scenario, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can obviously you got the TIE fighters in the Battlestar game, haven't you? In the latest one from EA, Battlefield.
Yeah.
But would you like to fly the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, that'd be good. Definitely. I mean, there's loads. You could fly a Y-wing, a B-wing, an A-wing, the X-wing, TIE Fighter, Interceptor, TIE Fighter Bomber. You know, there's loads of different ones that you could fly.
Yeah. Okay.
Justin?
Okay, so Justin Lee says, with the closeness of VR, with their closeness on the VR on the PC platform, why do you think that Microsoft have not launched a mixed reality headset for the Xbox One X, given that it appears to have it's got a relatively good success for the PlayStation?
Well, all of the rumours were that the Windows mixed reality was coming to Xbox. But I actually think it's not so much a situation of they've decided not to do it because they don't think it's, you know, they don't think it's worth it. I think Microsoft at the moment, because of everything that's happened, are playing things very, very carefully.
And they're concentrating on other stuff as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're concentrating on the xCloud and all of that sort of stuff. But also, one of the things that Phil Spencer said was you wouldn't get something that couldn't run on an Xbox One if you bought an Xbox One X. It'd run on both. They'd just run better on the Xbox One X with better graphics, whatever. I think that the PlayStation normal console is pushed to the limit on VR, and I think because it's just got that little bit more power than the Xbox, maybe the Xbox can't keep the solid frame rate that you're needing for VR without having a motion sickness. So I think that might be one of the things that has sort of pushed it to say you can't have it. But to be honest, when you're buying an X, it's a premium experience. It should be able to easily handle mixed reality. So why not just give those people mixed reality?
Yeah. Well,
what do you think?
I don't know. They're playing. I mean, they've had a lot of stick over the years with peripherals. So I think that's why they're taking a step back from it.
But they've already got this. This is already here.
Yes, it is.
It's not new.
No.
It's not new. This is here. They have a product they can literally plug and play.
Yeah. Depends if he's got the market for it with the games as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but also think about all of those PC owners who own an Xbox, who also own mixed reality. That'll be probably quite a number of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think it's a wrong move, but I think that's why they're doing it, to be honest, what the reasons why I've put down.
Yeah, I don't know, really. It's, I don't make, they've got their, if they'd have brought something else out, people would be moaning, well, where's all the games then to play? So, do you know what I mean? You couldn't win. So, Microsoft are delivering at the minute where they're buying all these studios, they want to bring all these games out. And then let's wait and see after that.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Okay,
Adrian Parker has asked, do you think that one day you will wake up and realise you're just getting too old to play video games anymore, or are you going to put up with arthritis?
I put up with it already, I think.
No, I'm a gamer until I die.
Yeah.
Or until my hands get chopped off. And even then, I'll be getting in contact with that gaming charity that I saw at Eurogamer and saying, I want to see how you're looking at stuff gameplay works.
Yes, it.
So
Okay.
you'd have to chop my hands off and then chop my eyes out.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
That would be quite horrific.
Right. Okay, Nicky Wilson is saying, why are the cars left-hand drive in Forza 4?
Because Americans don't realise that cars are right-hand drive in other countries.
I think I've deleted the demo now, but on the demo I played in a British car and it had a right-hand drive. So whether or not you've found enough cars, well, actually I haven't got the game to fully answer the question, but I did find a car that had a right-hand drive in it, and that was I think it was either Ford or some sort of vehicle, British-related vehicle. But some of the cars that are going to be from their origin of country, they may well be left-hand. So I don't know. Have you played it enough to warrant to tell me? Because you've got the game.
I don't play cockpit view,
Right?
so I hadn't noticed, to be honest. Other than when you're looking at your character, but every car I've been in, I think, has all been left-hand drive rather than right-hand.
Yeah. You've edited this document, haven't you? Sorry, I'm going to say this now.
No, I haven't touched it.
Oh, it's gone bizarre. Okay, I think I'm back because it said it needed to refresh it.
Right.
It's kind of a bit weird.
Okay, so next one then. Alan Cochrane. Who's your favourite cowboy actor out of these? John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Gene Autry, or Gary Cooper? His has got to be Clint.
As is for me. I've been watching Clint Eastwood in cowboy movies way back in the day when he was doing his spaghetti westerns and his class.
Yeah.
I have seen John Wayne, some of his movies as well, but I adore Mr. Eastwood personally. I know you're not a fan of westerns, are you?
No, westerns one of my least favourite genres. I have seen John Wayne in The Searchers.
Okay.
Which I've watched a few times, to be honest, but again, not my sort of movie. But Clint Eastwood, The Outlaw, Josie Wales, I would say. And what's that one where he puts the metal thing on his chest?
That is one of the spaghetti westerns.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was the... I can't think if it was Good, the Bad and the Ugly or A Few Dollars More. I can't remember which one it was now.
It was one of those two, I think. Anyway, I've seen those.
Yeah.
So I would say, to be honest, my favourite cowboy actor is Clint Eastwood, but that's in a genre that I don't like. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, okay. But you've answered it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, actually, not out of all of them, but another one, the guy who played Curly on City Slickers, Jack Palance.
Yeah, I don't class it as a cowboy western.
Well, he was a cowboy.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't a western.
It wasn't a western because
But you said, "Who's your favourite cowboy actor?" It didn't say out of these westerns.
Yeah, whatever. You're being awkward again.
Yeah, I am. So Jack Palance out of that list that's not there.
Jack Palance. He's got no pedigree for that. He was a better gangster in Batman, personally, but there you go. But I did like him as Curly. He was all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question, which is probably more for you than me, maybe.
Okay.
So from Craig Cole, said, the biggest question in the world, why the hell hasn't EA made a full game of the VR Star Wars experience from Battlefields? When I played it, I was in tears. Just give me the opportunity to be in the Star Wars world. Awesome.
And it is, and God only knows, Craig. God only knows why. To be honest, because it's just one of those experiences that cries out for VR. If you're going to use it, everybody who's a Star Wars fan would love to play Luke Skywalker going down that trench or the Lando in the Millennium Falcon flying into the Death Star and blowing it up.
Yeah, I think
why they haven't done it doesn't make sense.
Maybe it should be a Star Wars VR experience game, not necessarily a complete story.
Yeah, if it was on rails.
Yeah, so maybe you could go through the scenarios in the movies and go through and play them.
Yeah,
not maybe on rails too much though, but obviously you've got to actually get in that trench properly, and you've got to aim and fire that to get into the exhaust fumes. Or even in Return of the Jedi, when you go inside the Death Star, to get to the centre of it.
I have to admit, though, I think for some reason, I still think it'd be more epic flying down the trench in the X-wing.
Oh, and it's got to have all the music as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The one thing, though, that's always troubled me about this as a movie. Why did they fly right the way down it when all the turbo lasers were there? Why didn't they just go
to the end,
in orbit to the end, and then go straight down?
Because they've got to line up quicker. They've got to line it up. They can't just dive there in the end.
Well, okay, why didn't they do it like 100 metres away from the end so that they could just nip in and...
There's barbed wire in the way, maybe, or there's like fencing.
Or maybe it would have made it a shorter film.
Well, now it could have been a shorter film if Greedo shot first, maybe. I don't know. Game over.
So it's always troubled me that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that we're there, aren't we?
I'm really I've got to go somewhere in a minute, really. So should we get this outro done rather quickly, please? I do apologise.
Well, you're the one who's holding it up now. Give us your outro, Steve.
So Twitter is @Steve07. PSN ID, which is never going to change, is the real Steve07. Gamertag Steve07, email at steve07@popculturegamers.co.uk.
And mine is Facebook channel is Hidden Reese Jones, Twitter HERJUK, PSN Xbox Live or Steam is HERJUK, Email is hrjuk@popculturegamers.co.uk. Don't forget you can contact the show by going to emailing podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. We have a Facebook group called Pop Culture Gamers. Also, there's a website, popculturegamers.podbean.com, and you can also follow the show on Twitter @popculturegamer. Anything else is an imposter, report it, and let us know.
And then we'll come around and stick a bat up your night dress if you haven't done it right.
All right then. Well, hope you've all enjoyed the show, and thanks for Steve for joining me again, as always.
Of course.
And we'll see you next week. So with that, it's a good night from me.
And good night from him. Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.